Cowboy Christmas is here, and this is where rodeo dreams are made or missed. Some of the biggest rodeos, crowds, and the most paychecks of the season are all on the line.
But every win comes with a price. Thousands of miles on the road, long nights, and one goal. Earn enough to finish in the top 15 and punch a ticket to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
This is Chute Around, where every ride, every run, and every dollar counts.
It's one of the greatest bull rides I have ever seen.
Come on, Texas. She's one of yours. Riley Miller, number 3 man in the world. Come on, Riley, you got it. What?
Hold on tight, rodeo fans, Cowboy Channel fans, because we are going to be taking you all over the country on Chute Around. Welcome inside of our Cowboy Channel studios here in the heart of the stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Ty McClary alongside my partner, Katie Lucas. And take a deep breath, Katie Lucas. We're going to be busy. We have got a whole crew of folks behind us helping us, studio crew upstairs. We've got a bunch of folks behind camera here helping us plan a great show for our fans tonight.
Yeah, Ty, you know me. I like to be so organized. I like to know what is happening. So these are the most nerve-wracking shows for me because we truly don't know where the stories are going to take us this evening. But that's what makes Chute Around so exciting, too. And we've got a lot of rodeos to choose from this evening on Cowboy Channel. 38 rodeos, to be exact, are going on in the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association from July 1st through the 8th. Ty, that represents $3.68 million in total added money across all of those rodeos, and biggest distance between a couple of those rodeos, 2,900 miles.
Oh my goodness, that is so crazy, folks. 16 states. And when you look at it, here's what we're going to kind of feature for you. Now, some of these rodeos haven't even started their actual rodeo performance yet, but they will continue to do that throughout this entire show. We're going to be here with you for the next 3 hours. But the fun part for you fans at home is, we're going to jump around. We may jump over and show the bareback riding, 3 or 4 bareback rides from one rodeo, and then maybe the tie-down roping at another rodeo. But for you guys watching at home, if you're like, I want to stay at Livingston, Montana because my favorite barrel racer is up, that's why the Cowboy Plus app is available for you. You can stay there and watch the entire rodeo at Livingston, Montana, or St. Paul, or Prescott, or wherever we're going to be. That's the fun part of the evening for you.
Yeah, you could be like my mom as well and watch Chute Around on your TV, have your iPad sitting there with your Cowboy Plus app on whatever rodeo you want to stick with all evening. You can really cater your experience and tailor it to whatever you want to watch. And I can tell you this, with your Cowboy Plus app, you've got a lot of rodeos to choose from. Rodeo count right now, 43, 152 performances on the year as well.
Yeah, there is so much going on. And of course, one rodeo has already gotten underway just a little over an hour ago, and that is Mandan, North Dakota is underway. And of course, you can see right here behind us, and we're going to be bouncing around not only all over the country, but also bouncing around in this studio. Here's what happened just moments ago. We want to give you some last-minute updates. That's the national finalist, Leighton Berry, 81.5 for him. Now, they've had some competition there at Mandan, and 81.5 for Leighton is what he's got done in the bareback riding.
Also, we saw Garrett Shadbolt. Ty, you told me he returned to rodeo action just a couple weeks ago. Now, remember, he had hip surgery early on in the year. 86.5 points was the mark for him in Mandan. He looks to be coming back really strong. Yeah,
he definitely does. And, of course, he's top 35 in the world standings. But, since he's been out since January, we're going to see how he can handle it. And that's the thing. What a way to come back over the Cowboy Christmas run. It's not like you can just ease into it. He just started back a couple of weeks ago.
One thing I want to say about Garrett Shadbolt, too, he's a former wrestler, so he's got that gym background, and I have no doubt he's been working very hard to come back. Number 1 so far, though, in the bareback riding was Mason Stuller, 87 points for him. He's number 14 in the world right now, Ty. He's been so close to making the NFR previously. This could be his year, especially if he has a great Cowboy Christmas.
Boy, isn't that the truth? The former national high school champion. Now, for the rough stock events at Mandan, that is the lead so far in the bareback riding because this is actual first full performance. They've had some slack competition, and we'll continue to update you on that as well. But another event that is is taking place there in Mandan. It is a saddle bronc riding, and again, like the bareback riding, as I mentioned, it's the first full performance, so this will be the leaders in the saddle bronc riding the way it looks right now. Wyatt Laverne, one of our young permit guys this year. Yeah, he's not even bought his full PRCA card yet. 85.5 for him, but it was only about a month or so ago, a little over, I guess, month and a half, 2 months ago, we watched him win Guyman, Oklahoma there in early May, and then the last part of May, he won Claremore, Oklahoma. So we've been talking about this guy a lot.
Ty, I want to point out, too, look at how long his rein measurement is on this horse. I don't know if the horse was supposed to put his head down a little lower or what, but Wyatt sure handled that like a veteran. But as you said, he's number 2 in the permit race right now. 85.5 points was the mark for him. But moving up our leaderboard, we move to Shorty Garrett, 86.5 points for him. He's number 13 in the world. It's been several years since he's qualified for the National Finals Rodeo. He's made some changes in his life and really refocused himself, and you can certainly tell in 2026.
Katie, you watched him win the Music City Rodeo over there in Nashville, Tennessee back in late May, and of course he went up to the Casey Tibbs Extreme Bronc match, won a go-round up there right after the Music City Rodeo, and it's just continued for Shorty Garrett. How about Cade Bruno, number 3 in the world standings, right where we've seen him be over the last, 4 or 5 years, I guess, for this National Finals Rodeo saddle bronc riding talent out of Chalice, Idaho. 89 points to the lead in Mandan in the bronc riding.
Cade's number 3 in the world right now, Ty, but you can bet he's looking ahead to world number 2, Rusty Wright. Quite a few $1,000s ahead of him right now. Stetson Wright just a few thousand ahead of that in number 1. He really wants to eat away at that lead over this Cowboy Christmas season.
Folks, I know we're starting off pretty fast here for you right now. It's not going to be like this the whole show. We're just trying to get things rolling. We're actually going to take you to some rodeos where you hear the in-house announcers for a while. Like I said, we'll jump to some rodeos here a little later on as they continue to get started. And we may watch the entire event of tie-down roping or steer wrestling or bull riding at some rodeos across the country. And as I mentioned earlier, you can follow along on your Cowboy Plus app. But we are just getting underway. Happy birthday, America, by the way, as we celebrate 250 years this weekend. Lots coming your way on Shoot Around, presented to you by CINCH. And we're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back with more, lots more, in just a moment.
Shoot Around presented by CINCH. I'm Katie Lucas here tonight with Ty McClary. 3 hours of rodeo action coming your way as we shoot around at Cowboy Christmas. A lot of rodeo action happening right now, including some great saddle bronc riding slated in Red Lodge, Montana. Let's take a look.
Bob's Barbershop Buck and Shoot. Anybody out there needing a haircut right now, I want you to go down to Broadway, downtown, that's a main street, goes through Red Lodge, and go see Bob at Bob's Barbershop. And I'm talking about a premier barbershop. They specialize in high-end grooming services. They will make you look perfect. I'm talking about high and tight, whatever you need. Fades, razor cuts, scissor cuts, beard, mustache, whatever you need. And that's going to be the Buck and Shoot we're going to start in. But go down and see them at Bob's at 207 Broadway, Red Lodge. That's just across the street from his old shop. He just moved across the street, got in a new shop. So go see him. Here we go with Patterson. Help him, help him, help him. He is a Montana man. That one worked a little better for him that time. So, folks, as the Montana man gets a little help from the pickup men, they're going to set him down. We're going to watch the Arrow C replay up on the Cowtail scoreboard. Yep. And the scores are going to come up on the right and left from your judges here in just a minute. It's 50 for the horse, 50 for the rider. That's the way they score them. Now, they punch these scores into a little pad, and it shows up. And it's going to be 79 points, 79. All right, we're going to move right into the bronc riding. So here's your cool look. You just watched the bareback riding, where they ride with a bareback rigging up on the withers of the horse. And bronc riding looks a little different. These guys ride with what we call an association saddle. Stirrups are hinged a little closer to the front end to make the spur in action easier. Now, when he gets down in the saddle, you can watch him up on the big screen. But he's got a big puffy rope. It's called a buck rein. That's the balance point for the ride. He knows exactly where to hold it at. All these horses, they know they buck with their head down between their legs. They give them a little more rein. If they buck with their head high in the air, they take up a little rein. You don't want to give them too much. Kind of like pushing a rope. First guy to go, Miles City, Montana. Josh Davison in the Shipton's Big R and the SOS fucking horse. Watch the grade from the Brookmans. Look, look, look. Whoa! Yo! And he's going to take the hard way down. Oh, yeah. That's better than a ride over at the carnival, I'm telling you. Give him a round of applause as he walks by. Judges are going to say 71 points, 71.
Oh, some of them don't like that down
wait
here.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did I hear disagreement?
You did.
If you want to boo the judges good. This is
yeah. 1, 2, 3, let's hear you.
Yeah. They're staying in the Pollard Hotel, room 36, 37, 38.
That's right.
All right, we're going to go next. Grant Finkbeiner. As we move up to the covering Broadway bucket chute. I want you to go in and see all these great floor coverings that Ryan and Chelsea's got. It's a beautiful store. They'll do a great job for you, but here we go. Finkbeiner. This is the horse they call Smoking Mayday. Right at the buzzer. Oh, he's over there close to the main grandstands. Give him a little something for what he did. Watch it again. Cowtails scoreboard bringing it all to you. Replay, Arrow C Ranch. We say a big thanks to all of them. It's going to be 57 points for Grant, 5-7.
Oh, what do you do if you don't like it?
Yeah.
And after further review, the play stands still 57. Come on. Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going to take you back down to my favorite steakhouse, the Carbon County Steakhouse. Friends, I've even got a witness back here. Jake Narducci, my music director, they went there to eat last night. And they can attest to it. It is absolutely the best steakhouse you will ever eat anywhere in the world. I want you to go see them. Get you a reservation. My wife and I eat there at least twice every year. We're going to be there on the 4th of July. Get you a reservation. Come join us. I'm going to take you down right now to T.W. Flowers in the Carbon County Steakhouse bucket chute. Here's your man that comes from a little town called Perfect Town for the 250th anniversary of America. The town he lives in is called Old Glory, Texas. All right, here's the Texan. Watch this. Come on, get your feet moving, get your feet moving. All right, so the man from Old Glory, Texas, he's going to stand up and walk back. What do you think about the Texan in Montana? Did you like him?
Come on.
That was a little horse double stack that they were 80 at Hattiesburg, Mississippi. But tonight they're going to be 60 points, 6-0 for T.W. Flowers. As the horse goes out, the Cold Creek Realty out gates, we're going to get set to go to the Pollard Hotel bucket chute. Pollard Hotel, one of the most historic hotels in the country. Oh, I can tell you stories about it. They got a history room, Buffalo Bill, Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, they all stayed there. But Houston Brown is in their buck and shoot right now out of Miles City, Montana. Here's the number 16 man in the Montana circuit in the bronc riding. He's a two-time Montana State High School champion. Watch, watch, watch. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, you want to talk about a ride. Every jump, every kick. He's going to put you on a clinic. Watch it again. Arrow C replay up on the Cowtail scoreboard. Look at that. Feet in the front when he hits the ground. Drag him back to the cantle of the saddle. And get this. How about 82 points, new leader? I told you they were going to like it. But now, friends, I want to introduce someone to you. He's standing down behind the Joliet Wesleyan Church bucket chute. He's a 7-time world champion. 6 of those times were in the bronc riding, once in the all-around. 1997, we put him in the Hall of Fame in Oklahoma City. 2009, the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame in Colorado Springs. And in 2015, the Montana Pro Rodeo Hall and Wall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Dan Mortensen, world champion. As we get set to go, we're going to look at Jake Watson. Here's the man from Hudson Hope, British Columbia. That's the man that Dan Mortensen's helping. He's a 2-time NFR qualifier and a 3-time Montana Circuit qualifier. He's got the rude roommate. Comes from the Brookman Rodeo Company. Folks, you're watching the Brookman Rodeo Company's bucking horses. We're awfully proud of them. As this last year in December, they won the PRCA award of Best Remuda, meaning they have the best set of horses of anyone in the world in the rodeo business. Also, on the 4th of July, you're going to get to see something they're awfully proud of if you're here on the 4th of July. The Bareback Bucking Horse of the Year. It's all up on the 4th of July, so come back and join us. But this is a great set of horses you're watching from the Brookman Rodeo Company. The award-winning Best Remuda. Jake Watson was a member of the College National Championship team in 2013 Panhandle State. Here we go. Come on. Oh, that's another pretty ride. I'd hate to be the judges. As he gets off, what do you think? Yeah. We'll watch it again. Arrow C is going to bring it back. That great ranch up in Roberts, Montana. We say a big thanks to them for bringing us a replay every time. Here we go. New leader, 84 points. So a new leader in Jake Watson. And we say a big thanks to Dan Mortensen for being here and bringing his beautiful family. I took 2 of his beautiful kids on the Kubota today through the parade. They threw out Cowtail's candy for us. They had a great time. All right, Waitley Sharon, we're going to take you down to the Bob's Barbershop Buck and Shoot one more time for the number 2 rookie in the world right now. He comes out of Ordway, Colorado, and he's drawn Current Rage. Let's go. Come on, come on. The louder you get, the better the ride. All right. So as he steps down, you watch the replay and give him a little something for what he just did as we await a score for him. The man from Colorado. Folks, don't forget about Ford's Fan of the Night. Okay? I want you to sign up. All right, we're waiting on Judge 1, they tell me. It's going to be 82 points, 82. All right, you just watched the Colorado man. I got another one for you right behind him as we move up into the Yellowstone Banks Bucket Chute. Mitchie Story, Bayfield, Colorado, and the Ruffies Rage Bucking Horse. Oh, you want to talk about having your hands full right now. But you could win a lot of money on this gray bucking horse. Lift, nod, let's ride. Come on, help, help, help. Oh, he's got a seat. Look at this. Makes it look easy, doesn't he? One more time for a Colorado man in Montana. LC brings it back to you on the replay. They're going to tell us 78 points for Mitchie Story. 78. What are you throwing in the crowd?
We're playing Frisbee.
You're playing Frisbee with the kids?
Oh, yeah. They're having a good time.
You know, I've seen a lot of things thrown in the crowd, but never playing Frisbee.
It's a foam Frisbee. I was smart.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Beartooth IGA, the Beartooth Market. Yeah, where's all my Beartooth fans? So do you work there or you just shop there all the time? I'm betting they work. Okay, here we go. Front end, that's what you need. So you just watched Liam Pauley out of Miles City, Montana, and the horse Stormy. They've been 86.5 on that horse in Sydney, Montana. They were 87 at the Daddy of them all in Cheyenne, Wyoming. But the man from Miles City, Montana, just completed the 8-second ride, and we're going to turn it down to the judges. So as the scores come up, we're going to send the horse out that Cold Creek Realty outgate. All right, they're telling us 72.5 for Liam Pauley. This is Regan Lyons, the Aussie. Come on, watch. Oh, you big hot dog. Yeah, I don't know if he meant to do that or not, but it looked good, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Youth is a wonderful thing. If I tried to do that, I wouldn't walk right for a week.
Let's hear the call. Aussie. Yeah.
And they're going to tell us 79 for the Aussie. Okay, I'm going to take you all the way up to the Beartooth Billings Clinic Bucket Chute because your health is their priority and they're there to help you. But now the blue shirts are in town. If you watch rodeo enough, you know what I'm talking about. The Wright boys from up in Utah on the Wilderness Circuit. The winningest, ridingest boys in the bronc riding you've ever seen. And I got you a world champion. As a matter of fact, he's the reigning world champion. In December, Statler Wright won his first world championship as well as his first average championship in Las Vegas. Okay? He's from Beaver, Utah. He ended up with 456,000. Watch the world champ. Look. Folks, you just got a clinic put on for you. I want you to give Statler Wright a round. And I want you to get ready as the scores come up because you may see some big changes. But watch this replay. You talk about getting air under that horse. So the scores are coming up. Get ready, 84 points he ties for the lead. So the world champ just set up top and tied for the lead. But I got one more for you. All right, you're seeing it up on the big screen right now. Talon Elsher is going to be the next man you're going to watch out of Hereford, South Dakota, in a covering Broadway bucket chute. Man, I want you to call him or go in one day and see what Ryan and Chelsea can do for your house. Let's go with Elsher. Look, look, look. So if you can see it from behind the bucket chutes or from over across the way, you see that yellow flag in the dirt? Yep, that means watching on the replay from Arrow C, we're going to show you. We can see it right there on the right. See how his feet are down in the flats of that horse? Can't be there. They got to be over the point of the horse's shoulder in contact with the horse. When the horse's front feet hit the arena floor, first jump out, and he failed to do it. So it's going to be a no score. Have you got something for my man from South Dakota? That's all he's going to get, so give him a lot. So we're going to go to the final man in the Yellowstone Bank bronc riding. You know, folks, Yellowstone Bank brings a full array of highly competitive products and services to the communities that they serve. I want you to put your money in Yellowstone Bank. But in Shipton's Big R bucket chute right now, we've got another Wright boy. Spencer Wright, the four-time NFR qualifier and the 2014 world champion and average winner from Las Vegas. Here's a $1.2 million bucking horse rider out of Milford, Utah. And he's got a horse called Faded Valley. Oh, they won money in Cheyenne on this horse. Come on. You know what? I don't think they can ride them the wrong way. They always ride them the right way. What do you say about Spencer Wright on the ground in Montana? They're going to tell us 78 as you watch the Arrow C replay. 78 for Spencer Wright. But that right there is going to drop the curtain on the Yellowstone Bank bronc riding. Don't forget
our pal
about
Doug Mathis on site in Red Lodge, Montana. We saw the leaderboard shake up tonight. Statler Wright splitting the lead now with Jake Watson. Waitley Sharon also in there. You also saw Spencer Wright wrap things up. Those three in particular have already had some success and got their names to the top of the leaderboard over the fourth.
They definitely have. The reigning champ of the world, Statler Wright. He is leading the rodeo in Livingston, Montana. We'll be going to that rodeo here later on this evening. Spencer, who you just watched for 78 points there in Red Lodge, he's leading the Prescott Frontier Days in Prescott, Arizona, and then Waitley Sharon leading Oakley City, Utah. So, yeah, that was pretty good saddle bronc riding there in Red Lodge. We'll go back to Red Lodge later tonight. I want to give you a little hint that later on in the bull riding, there's a 7-time world champion scheduled to be there in the bull riding. So stay tuned for that coming your way a little later on in the show. We've got more to get to. We've got some big-time bareback riding coming up in Killdeer, North Dakota. We'll get to that on the other side of this timeout. We'll be right back.
A little bit.
Yeah, guys, we'll talk soon.
That's Michael Snow, our resident statistician behind the scenes on our social medias and on our Cowboy Plus website as well, always bringing us the stories. And one thing he touched on is the bareback riding that we're about to go to at the Killdeer Mountain Roundup. And there's a really cool story between the Dakota rodeos. They're really close together, but they've done something special for the rough stock contestants to make sure that they can go to both rodeos.
The rodeo that we shared with you and talked to some results earlier from Mandan, North Dakota, Dakota, but then also now Killdeer, North Dakota. They actually switched the order of their events there. They're not too terribly far between those rodeos. It's a little over an hour drive is what I'm told from the rodeo contestants. So instead of having bareback riding first, they'll have bareback riding first at another one, and then saddle bronc riding first at the other rodeo. And then those guys will switch. And when Tim O'Connell joined us yesterday on Western Sports Roundup, he actually shared that story that he said you will actually pass each other between the two rodeos. In fact, there's a highway intersection out there that every year the bronc riders and the bareback riders kind of pass and give a wave because bronc riders are headed one way and bareback riders are headed the other way. So that is exactly what a lot of these rodeo committees do across the country to try to help some of these contestants make 2, sometimes 3 rodeos in one day. Now, when we get you ready for bareback riding in Killdeer, like Michael Snow just shared with you, there is some big-time talent to talk about. This should be some really good bareback riding.
Yeah, some great names on the Cowboy side of things, but Pickett Pro Rodeo is also in the house tonight in Killdeer, and they're bringing some pretty amazing matchups, including Waylon Bourgeois. He has Nightcrawler, the reigning horse of the year. There's also several great horses in the mix, too. They're going to stand shoulder to shoulder, and it truly is not a drawing contest tonight. It is a riding contest. So let's hop in at least to the first section of bareback riding in Killdeer.
Getting a little taste of varsity bareback riding here tonight. No pun intended, but Harrison, these Pickett horses and J-Bar-J horses, they're going to be firing. You feel that cool air? And a real good night turned into not a real good night for Spur Owens right there. But we are going to set him down. He drove a long ways from Helena, Montana. He could sure use a little encouragement right now. Spur Owens, you keep going at him, young man. No score as he double grabs before the 8-second whistle. Well, just a tough go. You got to realize when these horses throw all that weight out in the front, it's almost like having a 2,000-pound anvil tied onto your riding arm. It adds a degree of difficulty, but we're just getting warmed up. So the Dakota Midstream Buck and Chute brings you a man from McCune, Kansas. Quentin Lunsford is 21 years old, a Prairie Circuit finalist time and time again. I watched him get a pile of money in Sioux City, Iowa, Grand Island, Nebraska, but this is a superstar bucking horse. Yeah, Scarlet Bell from Pickett's a 10-time national final selected animal athlete, a horse that they have won 3 go-rounds on in Las Vegas. And when you talk about husbandry, a 17-year-old mare born to buck. Come on, Killdeer, talk to him. Yes. Quentin Lunsford gonna set the bar right here on opening night of the Killdeer Mountain Roundup. And we're gonna watch it back on the replay right here. Scarlet Bell from Pickett Pro Rodeo. Mandy Cullen Pickett all the way from Texas, showing up, showing out. Look at Quentin reach to the front, zing those rowels all the way back to the ring and back down each and every jump. And QL, our judge is talking it over right now. 3-man officiating crew down in the dirt. 50 points possible for the horse, 50 points for the bucking horse rider. Out of 100. Oh, how about we set it in a big way? 82.5 points.
How you kill this? I understood the assignment. I understood the assignment.
Well, sometimes the assignment can be difficult, but he definitely exceeded here in the classroom tonight. Let's go to one of your hometown boys, or Great Falls, Montana, I should say. Wyatt Warnke, the 19-year-old superstar in the making, on the back of a Pickett Pro Rodeo horse that they call Red Dawn. Dakota Community Bank and Trust Buck and Chute is where the eyes are on right now. And I don't know about you, but I don't know if I'd want to get on a horse by the name of Red Dawn. I've seen the movie, but then again, I've also seen the ending. The good guy wins. But the question is, who's the good guy tonight? Is it the young kid that's on his rookie season? He goes to Clarendon College. Let her rip, let's go! Ooh, Red Dawn with WW. Wyatt Warnke, that is not the recommended dismount right there, but he can hear you guys. He's got ears. Come on, Great Falls, Montana. We're glad he is here So we take a look at that replay. Judges talk it over. How about 75.5 points as he slides into the number 2 spot overall? Wyatt Warnicki. And we talked about in the opening, Corey. You want to talk about the young guns? This next guy, world champ.
Yeah, veteran Bravera Buck and Chute's where we're going. You've watched this guy at midnight win this rodeo with a record-setting ride of over 90 points. But now, can the Pope do it again in the daylight? Jess Pope of Waverly, Kansas, and may have the horse of a lifetime. Bill Fix, top notch. A horse that he's been on a handful of times, and every time he's nodded, he has won money. He's won go-rounds. It's the 2019 Horse of the Year. It is a world champion, an aggregate champion preparing for battle, and not just that, but a brand new dad as of 8 weeks ago. Jess Pope, I love everything about this guy. He is the definition of a cowboy. You watched him go 93 at Watford City just a couple of weeks ago. How big is it going to be tonight?
Like a boss.
And the Pope has entered into Killdeer right now. Man. As he rides around, our pickup man sliding into position. But I want to take a look at that replay before we go any further. Because Bill Fix, top notch, just took Jess Pope on a ride, and he showed him who's on top. 88.5 points for Jess.
Well, the big question is right now, day number 1, I'm going to say this respectively, is it going to hang on to win this rodeo? Time will tell. But Jess Pope's already having a great Cowboy Christmas, 88.5 last night in St. Paul, Oregon. And now he's 88.5 again. But now we continue this quest. Harrison, we're not even close to getting to the matchup.
No. And it's Kids Night at the Rodeo. Thank you so much, the City of Dunn Center, being our presenting sponsor of opening night of the Killdeer Mountain Roundup. I see some kids playing in the sandbox right now, but you just met the number 10 man in the world. How about a guy that's chasing him right behind him at number 11?
So Buffalo, Wyoming is the man that you're looking at on the big screen. His name is Cole Reiner. And he knows that he has a great horse tonight by the name of Natural Hell of Pickett Pro Rodeo. But this horse, according to Colin Pickett, is hard to get out on. That's why we patiently await Cole to step over that preferred buck and chute to get ready. The $1 million man knows how to handle these animal athletes here in this arena.
And when you pair up that $1 million over the span of 5 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo already this year, won Rodeo Rapid City, the champion of the Red Bluff Roundup, Vernal, Utah. He was 92 points. Got a pile of money in Darby, Montana just about a month ago. Cole Reiner, Natural Hell, they've won go-rounds on this horse. Huge matchup and a big-time score. And if you're Jess Pope at 88.5, I don't think you sit well and just watch this and Cole Reiner go.
You can see him easing his way down inside the buck and chute. You know, when they talk about this sport and they talk about bareback and saddle bronc riding, they don't talk about what it means to have chute discipline on the back of these chutes. Cole Reiner has been in this situation before with horses just like this. If you go easy and take your time and take the deep breaths, this horse is going to perform. If you try to get in a hurry and do things too quickly, the horse is going to be a natural hell inside that buck and chute. But the veteran now got his hand latched in to that bareback rigging. Buffalo, Wyoming, the all-state wrestler, got the grin of a lifetime on the big screen. He's ready. We're out. Go, Cole, go! I know we can make a little more noise in Killdeer, North Dakota tonight for Cole Reiner. That big, strong paint horse all the way from Texas, Fairfield, Texas, Pickett Pro Rodeo. And Cole Reiner about to make his mark right here at the 2026 Killdeer Mountain Roundup. He's down in the dirt. Go ahead, let him hear you now.
So now that question that we've already asked ourselves, is it going to be enough to surpass the world champion Jess Pope here early on in performance number 1? And numbers are in. Survey says 87 points for Reiner. 87.
All right, so here's the good news. The bareback riding should not be done just yet in Killdeer. We've got some more guys. Remember, I told you they kind of moved the order of events around. They'll even have another section of bareback riding. Some of those names that we were sharing with you earlier, along with some of that big top stock from Picket Poe Rodeo, should be coming your way just a little bit later. We'll be watching close for that. But it's time to, let's go back to Red Lodge and the Home of Champions Rodeo that we went to, that we started the show with moments ago. And let's switch gears a little bit and go to some timed event action and what's took place there just recently in the team roping. Katie, I'll let you kind of take the charge on your fellow Canadians.
Hey, how about Kavis Drake and Denham Ross? 4-6 for them right now. That's splitting third, jumped them all the way up into the top 3 for our rodeo competition. Kavis is number 17 in the world. Denham number 19. They are certainly looking to move up in those world standings, and they've been on a little bit of a heater lately, and it has continued into Red Lodge, but none were better so far in Red Lodge than Bry Kreitz and Ross Ashford. 4-3 for them. This just happened a moment ago, Ty, and they are now your new leaders.
Yeah, they're new leaders, and just like every one of these cowboys and cowgirls are trying to do in pro rodeo here over Cowboy Christmas Run, is win as much money as they can. Well, Bry Kreitz and Ross Ashford, not only are they in the lead at 4-3, but look at this. When you look at the world standings, there's Bry. He's been to the National Finals Rodeo before. He's number 8 right now. Just think about this, a big win right there in Red Lodge. That would probably jump him up a spot or two, but and then you look at the team rope, the healing standings. There's Ross Ashford, number 5 in the world. And Katie, when you think about this historically, when we look at what contestants have done and how much money they've won over this 8 days of competition that's called Cowboy Christmas, it's easily for, I shouldn't say easy, because it's not easy. It's easy for you and I. We're just sitting here talking about everybody, but as they're crisscrossing the country, can they win $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 here over the 4th? Absolutely they can.
That's it. The record is over $50,000 for this Cowboy Christmas week of competition. Hayes Waite holds that record from just a year ago. He had a huge Ponoka Stampede with a lot of ground money that he picked up there. But there's a guy that's also had several successful Cowboy Christmases in Haven Medjid. Your 2019 world champion is back in the number 7 spot in the world, and he took the lead in a big way a moment ago in Red Lodge.
He sure did. 8-6 for this guy. And remember, for Haven Medjid, the world champ, Katie, a year ago, he was out with a back injury right now at this time of the season. He didn't come back until the very end of this month. And then remember, he had that huge August last year and won like $40,000 in the month of August. He had to do that to qualify for the National Finals Rodeo, but that's not the story this season. Haven Medjid, number 7 in the world with $65,001. Let him win a big Cowboy Christmas. We'd see that guy up there in the top 3 or 4 battling for a lead if he can get some big money under his belt after this Cowboy Christmas Run. He's starting it off very well to go to the lead in Red Lodge.
Yeah, more money to be added to those standings as well. Not sure if Ponoka and Greeley are both in there, but is just going to continue to climb. Several contestants already won over $10,000 or more, many of them over $10,000 or more just in the last couple days.
You mentioned Ponoka. Haven Medjid won about $5,000 up there. That is definitely not in the world standings. That Canadian money takes a few weeks to get put into the world standings, so we'll see that change drastically. All right, folks, shoot around is going to continue. We invite you to stay with us. We also invite you to jump over on Cowboy Plus. If you want to stay at a rodeo and you're like, man, I'd like to stay right there in Red Lodge, you can do exactly that. We invite you to stay right here with Shoot Around as well. We'll continue with more after the break.
We're back on Shoot Around, and with so many great rodeos happening across the continent, we'd be remiss if we didn't include a recap from the Ponoka Stampede. They wrapped up their ever-exciting showdown round last night, and while some repeat champions rose to the top, others headed into the winner's circle at the Wild West of 36 for the very first time. Diane Finstead has the recap.
A rodeo doesn't hit 90 years without facing some adversity over that time, and the 90th anniversary Ponoka Stampede certainly brought some weather challenges, but that did not dampen the action when it came to the rich showdown round. Let's meet the champions. In the bareback riding, of course, one of his favorite horses was plucked by Tai Te Patat at 89.75, and what an amazing horse that Agent Lynx is. He was very happy to draw that, and he gets all the spoils, his first in his successful long career. Tie-down roping, what can you say about Peso? He came through again, and it was Shane Hanchy roping up his fourth Ponoka title, and he did it this time in 8.6 seconds in the mud, and he just can't say enough good things about that amazing Logan Bird horse. Rookie breakaway roper Fallon Thompson of BC dominated all week at Ponoka at her very first Stampede. She came through in the showdown round on her great horse Chili Pepper to win in 2.9 seconds. Well, I keep saying this is definitely his last rodeo in this Ponoka arena. So Scott Gunther in the steer wrestling picked up his second Ponoka title with a smooth 4.7 second run, and he gets the big money and the saddle in this event. Well, it was a stacked section in the saddle bronc riding, but when all the gates were cracked, it was an 88.75 on top from Q Taylor of Parkland on Dandy Delight. That is, of course, from Calgary, and Q continues his roll across North America. They were the only team with a clean run in some muddy conditions for the team roping. Derek Hadlin, now a Ponoka resident, and of course the famous Jeremy Bueller got it done in 7.9 seconds. This is Bueller's third Ponoka title with a different partner each time. No Stopping Stiletto, that amazing horse from Michelle Alley, came their first trip to Canada, and an 18:08 in some, again, muddy conditions. Certainly an emotional win for her and this great horse, but it will make all the difference in her season. Then when it came to the bull riding, a great section there as well. But marked down, and he's got it checked off his bucket list, young Grady Young of Leader, Saskatchewan, takes the title with 90.25 points on this bold bull, all gold Rolex. And of course, topping things off, winning the all-around and the high point was Zeke Thurston, who of course did team roping with his cousin Bo Cooper, along with a great saddle bronc ride.
Congratulations to all of the champions of the 2026 edition of the Ponoka Stampede 90th anniversary, and special shout out to our breakaway roping champion Fallon Thompson and Michelle Alley, our barrel racing champion. Ty McClary, this year they dubbed it the Year of the Cowgirl, and those two are certainly great cowgirls, and they handled the weather too. You saw all of the mud at the Ponoka Stampede. The rain was just unrelenting day after day after day in Ponoka, so it was a bit tough for them out there, but there was one horse in particular that was able to handle all of the conditions. You can see Peso right there, owned and trained by Logan and Maynard Bird. He won $38,000 across his time at the Ponoka Stampede. Whether it was absolutely soupy out there or nice and dry, Peso does his job.
Kind of tells you how great of a horse Peso is. When one that works that good in the mud, you know, when those calf horses stop like that and that mud slapping them in the belly, for them to work the rope, it doesn't matter if it's the world champ Shane Hanchy riding him to get the win, Ty or Joel Harris, it doesn't matter. We've obviously seen him at the National Finals Rodeo for so many years, that great buckskin horse of the Bird family. And yeah, when one can work like that in those kind of conditions, whether it's that sticky mud, kind of hard to stop in, or it's completely dry, or it's the sloppy mud like we watched as well, or like I said, in the perfect conditions of the National Finals Rodeo. It just tells you how great of a horse that is.
Another part of the story, too, is the amount of runs that he took on the very last day. You saw Ty Harris, Joel Harris, and Shane Hanchey all ride him in the 12-man round earlier in the day, and then they actually loaded Peso up, took him to Airdrie. Logan Bird was roping, the owner of Peso. He was roping in Airdrie, and then they buzzed back down Highway 2 there in Canada, and both Ty Harris and Shane Hanchey rode him almost back-to-back in the 4-man round. Ty was out first, trotted Peso back up that huge arena at the Ponoka Stampede, and they reset everything for Shane, for him to nod his head and get his another win for Shane at the Ponoka.
It's almost like the more runs you put on him, the better he gets. It seems like he's just not slowing down any at all. What a great horse. And as she said, congratulations to all the champions at the Ponoka Stampede. We've got so many rodeos starting to get kicked off, and we're going to be jumping around here in just a moment. But I want to take you back to one that we've already showed you tonight, but a different event coming at you from Red Lodge, Montana, the home of Champions Rodeo. This is the breakaway roping. Just a couple updates to give you. And here's another one of your Canadians, Katie Lucas, Kendall Pearson, 3 and 4 for her. That's what she looks at right now. Not necessarily leading the rodeo, but a pretty good run.
Yeah, Kendall's got to get a move on as well. She's number 54 in the world. She's got to start moving up. Same with these next two ladies. Ricky Anguster, of course, we saw her win $750,000 at the American Rodeo. It was so exciting to see that. I don't know how you would ever feel pressure again after you won that big title there at the American, but she actually had some tough luck, as did Taylor Anguster. Both of those ladies, number 40 for Ricky, number 43 in the world for Taylor. So they're also, along with Kendall Pearson, looking to move up right now.
But I'll tell you who's doing very well, and that is Josie Connor, Iowa, Louisiana. She is 2.2, number 10 in the world for her. She's tied for 4th right now in the breakaway roping there at Red Lodge. Oh, by the way, she's also splitting 2nd at the rodeo in Oakley, Utah for the breakaway roping, and that's what it looks like for Josie Connor in the breakaway. As I mentioned moments ago, lots more rodeos coming your way. We've even got a Cowboy Plus app promo code to tell you about where you can save 20%. We'll be teasing you with that here coming up in just a little bit. Stay with us. Shoot Around continues on the other side of this break.
Weller Recreation right here in Camas, Utah. You can go see our great friends at Weller Recreation, Matt, Rich, Joan, and Mike, for all your outdoor recreational needs. They've got everything. But tonight we thought it fitting that we start out with beautiful ladies on horses, beautiful horses underneath them, and the most beautiful flag the world has ever known. Whether you want to stand, you can. If you want to stay seated, you also can. We'll give you ample time a little bit later to honor both God and country, because this weekend, it's all about freedom. And there's no better way to celebrate freedom than with the Cowboys and Cowgirls of the Oakley Rodeo.
Stay, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed
That is how we celebrate America.
Well, what a way to kick off a rodeo. Oakley, Utah, just starting up right now with their opening ceremonies. And on this, the 250th year of the United States of America, why not get the next generation of great Americans in to do the anthem there? That was awesome, Ty.
I couldn't agree more. That young man did a phenomenal job. Of course, you heard Anthony Lucia, the announcer there, kicking off the rodeo. That wasn't Anthony singing the national anthem, I can assure you that. Folks, we've been talking about our Cowboy Christmas run. Of course, we've got a Christmas in July special for your Cowboy Plus app. 20% off an annual subscription. You can use the code CIJ. That stands for Christmas in July 2026. Folks, that only costs $100 a year, and you get everything on Cowboy Channel. Now we're giving you 20% off. That offer valid until the end of this month of July. Folks, you need to take advantage of that. Try to remind you of that a couple times throughout Shoot Around here over the next couple of days, but that's a pretty cool deal, folks. And when you think about that, as I mentioned, $100 a year, Katie, that's not a whole lot of money these days. You get a lot of rodeos and a lot of info and a lot of history on Cowboy Channel to be able to follow that up with our Cowboy Plus app.
And like you said, Ty, CIJ 2026, that'll also get you 20% off. That's our Christmas in July special. From now until the end of the month, you can get the Cowboy Channel subscription, and you can get rodeos in the numbers like this. 43 rodeos we've shown so far, 152 rodeo performances. You can catch every moment if you subscribe to Cowboy Plus. You can use that QR code, and don't forget, CIJ 2026 to get 20% off.
That is worth your time, I can assure you. It is time to take you back to Mandan, North Dakota. Andy Stewart calls all the action in Mandan. Let's take you back up there and see what's happening here on Shoot Around. It's a little bull riding, it sounds like to me. And how about the guy, TJ Gray? We watched him win the National Finals Rodeo, the average title in the bull riding. He gets one that spins right back into his hand. That's called in your office in the bull riding. That's the way the young man from Derry, Oregon likes it. That is TJ Gray. Wow, what a ride to go to the lead there in the bull riding for TJ Gray and Mandan.
And Ty, he's well placed right now, number 13 in the world standings. He's won over $87,000 so far this year. Twice he's been to the National Finals Rodeo the last 2 years. I love TJ's style too. He's a pretty tall, lanky bull rider, and he just kind of shuffles his knees all the way through, and you can see him right there. Number 13, he's above that bubble mark. Yes, it's pretty early to be talking about the bubble, but this is where contestants can rocket themselves up the standings and not have to worry about the bubble for the rest of the year.
I was just about to say that. It's like you read the script I was reading here or something.
You never go off a script, Ty.
Okay, maybe you're right. But yeah, you win a pile of money over Cowboy Christmas, and you get a ways away from that bubble and inside the top 7, top 8, top 6 in the world standings. And then you can feel pretty safe going into the rest of the summer rodeo run, trying to qualify, obviously, for the National Finals Rodeo in the top 15 in the world standings. So that's what it looks like here on Shoot Around. We've got, look here behind us. I mean, there's lots of rodeos getting kicked off. You just watched the opening ceremonies in Oakley. We'll be taking you there later on. Of course, Red Lodge continues. They're getting kicked off with the first couple of events in Oakley City. So lots more is coming your way. We're going to take another time out here on Shoot Around, presented by CINCH. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Well, where in the world are the number ones across the world of pro rodeo? Well, we visited with all of them to track them throughout their Cowboy Christmas run here, and you can see with our little bobbleheads where everybody is competing tonight. But there's a bareback rider that had to make a decision. Bradley Miller, who just moved into the number 1 spot in the world, he drew up both at Basin City and at the Oakley Independence Day Rodeo in Oakley, Utah. Can't make both in the same evening, no. So that's kind of the story of this time of year. Tim O'Connell talked about it with us on Western Sports Roundup. You've almost got to double up because you've got to play your odds a little bit, see where you might draw the best horses. You might not have the best horse at the highest paying rodeo, but if you do at maybe one that's kind of middle of the pack, it might be beneficial to pick that one because you have a shot to win.
That goes for all the contestants, folks, whether it's the rough stock contestants or the timed event contestants. They can, when they enter these rodeos at the PRCA office with Procom, they can request, I want to be up this certain day or this certain performance. there's no guarantees that you get that. You just put those requests in, and then you see how it all falls together, especially over this busy Cowboy Christmas run. Then you make your decision on, well, I can get here, I can get there, I can't get there. Another one is like Riley Webb. We're being told he's competing in 3 rodeos today, right up there in Montana and Cody and Livingston. We're going to hopefully check in with him and see where he's at here later on this evening, but there's a possibility of that. We watched the opening ceremonies from Oakley, Utah just moments ago. Let's get into the bareback riding and see what's taking place.
Resistol Rookie of the Year. And the big-time bucking horse named Whiskey Trip from United Pro Rodeo is going to be too much for Sage Allen to handle. The young man who had a breakout season last year. Tonight, he's been battling injuries, and he chooses self-preservation over a big ride. Fans, his head is down as he walks out of this arena. Why don't you make him feel just a little bit better for that no score? Our doTERRA pickup and the boys from Oklahoma, Jake and Jeff Dees. They're tough enough to wear pink. Make sure you go check out the ladies of our Civic Club right here in Oakley and get your tough enough to wear pink gear as we get ready to see if Owen Brule from St. Francisville, Louisiana is tough enough tonight. It is going to be Chute number 7, Everett Lynn Enterprises. Hunter Reese, thanks for everything you do. Fans, when that gate opens up, the Cowboy goes to work, and so do you. Let's ride. Now we're firing. Spark plug from New Star Rodeo when Pete Carr and Billy Jones show up to any one of the major rodeos that they produce. They bring some of the top stock contractors with them from around the country. Brule, nicely done, my friend. For all of our new fans, half the score comes from the horse, half the score comes from the Cowboys' control and the chaos. And it's going to be 76 points for Brule, and he will hope for better things his next ride. Right now, 90.5 points from last night's performance is number 1. As we move to the Buffalo Run Ranch Chute, it is time to meet our Cowboy. Bryce Eck is the man. Bryce Eck is the man with the plan. Redfield, Kansas Cowboy. And everybody, I want you to take a good look at that beautiful horse underneath him. The strong muscles, the flowing hair. That horse's name, Fabio. Because he's beautiful. He's bold. Look at him. Oh, yeah. Fabio, look at him. He even paused. He said, "You like what you see?" Well, Bryce Eck has been a Cowboy that's been on a winning streak. He's already won 8 professional rodeos this year. Tonight, Fabio's going to give him everything he wanted, but not everything he needed. It's going to be 74 points for Bryce Eck. But let's see if we can keep climbing. As we move to the Prime Landscaping Chute, it is a young man named Nick Pelkey from Mondovi, Wisconsin. These Cowboys come from far and wide to compete at your rodeo. He just won Newtown, North Dakota. I watched him win the Fort Worth Stock Show Rodeo last season, one of our major tour stops in the winter. Tonight, it's a New Star bucking horse underneath named Pin Cup. I got a big $sign written next to this horse because this horse is money, money, money. And Nick Pelkey, get the money on your mind and the mind on the money tonight. The jump, the kick, the spurring motion. It was all there for the Cowboy who we have watched go 90 points on multiple occasions. As he continues his climb in the standings, Nick Pelkey, it may be a long walk from that end back to this end, but I got good news for you. You are inside the top 4 with this score, 80.5 points for the Badger. You just met his brother. His name is Bryce, but this is Coltec. He has won rodeos from New Jersey to Kansas to the Lone Star State of Texas. Redzilla is the horse underneath from Pete Carr Pro Rodeos. Billy Jones, the trigger man, the ranch manager, they're proud of this one. We watched Rocker Steiner go 89 points for a round win at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo earlier this year. My only question is, how big can we be tonight? Spur. Oh, the big, strong horses. You're going to notice as we watch the Jordanelle Ridge replay, you are going to see that the first two jumps came out of that Everett Enterprises chute. Cowboy sets his feet, tries to get in time with his horse, but the drop from that rigging, watch how high it goes and how far it drops. That is yanking on his arm, and it puts him out of time with that animal. And so that is going to be a no score for Coltec. But that is a testament to the horsepower that we have in this arena. This next man, he is awesome. Tanner Ross, number 16 in the world. 8 times he has qualified to Pro Rodeo's World Championship event, Buffalo Run Ranch Chute. Thank you to Wade and Kristen Klinger for being on hand and for helping us make this all happen. Exactly midnight. He's a 2-time NFR bucking horse. This could be exactly right. Cole Reiner 2 seasons ago in this arena won this rodeo on that horse from Pete Carr. Watch Garrett Shadbull go 89 points in the championship round of the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. And when we talk about any of these animals being selected to the national finals, it means that they are the top 105 and out of thousands of bucking horses and bulls. I see Tanner Ross watching that Jordanelle Ridge replay, and now I want you to look at Tanner Ross's face, because he's going to like this. 88 points for awesome. So Clyde Companies, Wilford Clyde, congratulations on your family's 100 years of construction. Congratulations for your legacy being carried on the way that it is. But take a look, Tanner Ross moves all the way to number 2 with that 88-point ride on top of the Black Rock Mountain Resort True Mountain Luxury Leaderboard. And he is inside some big-time money as he will make his way to the War Bonnet Hat Winner's Circle. An opportunity for us to get to know.
Well, you just saw a great ride from Tanner Ross to be second overall with that 88-point ride. Always hard to believe this early into the rodeo performances over the 4th that an 88-point ride is second, but that's exactly what the 4th of July run produces.
I remember from a year ago at Oakley, Utah, they stacked up some huge numbers in the bareback riding, the saddle bronc riding, and the bull riding. I remember the bull riding last year was phenomenal. There'd be a 91, 92, then somebody'd be 93, and then there'd be an 89. I mean, it was crazy. I bet Oakley gets close to that again this year as well. But let's shift gears from Oakley and let's go back to the ladies' events for a minute, because a world champion by the name of Haley Kinzel riding a pretty good Palomino mare by the name of Sister. She's done some good things earlier today.
Yeah, you know what else the 4th of July produces is arena records, and we're pretty sure from Mandan Slack this was an arena record. Haley said in a social media post that she was told this was a record, but Sister threw down. 16.90 was the mark for her. Finally cracked Sister back out. She always gives this horse a nice break so that she's fresh and ready to go. She doesn't like to overrun her, but then she also ran a full sister to Sister named Libby, and she's placing in Killdeer 1698. She said in her social media post, those are the kind of days we dream of and work so hard for. And she wanted to thank the rodeo committees for the outstanding ground conditions. We know it can be tough this time of year, Ty. It can rain a lot. You can get all kinds of weather conditions in one day sometimes at some of these rodeos up in the north. So the committees are working very hard to make sure it's not only a fair playing field for our barrel racers, but a safe one.
Yeah, it definitely is. And of course, Haley Kinzel and Sister. Am I getting that right?
Yes.
They're going to continue over the 4th of July. So let's talk more barrel racing and take you back to Red Lodge, Montana. That was the rodeo that we kicked off the show with, and what has taken place there recently. Let's get to the barrel racing in Red Lodge.
On for both new boots and shoe repair. All right, there's the pattern right there. We call it the cloverleaf pattern. Electric eyes are set out. When they come in, They'll break the eyes. That'll start the clock. When they can run back through it, it'll stop it. Make sure the judge is ready. He said he is. First lady to go. She was 8th in the world November of 25. She took a fall on a horse, hit the concrete with her head. She had multiple facial fractures and a brain bleed. Spent 10 days in ICU and had to miss the NFR, but she's back. Here's Anita Ellis. Come on. Blackfoot, Idaho. She's number 25 in the world. Oh, that's going to spill the Coors and cost her 5. Come on, help her, help her, help her. 1733 plus 5. 1733 plus 5. Yeah, that's an amazing lady, an amazing story as she works her way back to the NFR that she did not get to be at last year. Helena, Montana. Anybody here from Helena tonight? Yeah. Well, here comes your girl, Lisa Warfield, the two-time Montana Circuit finalist. Big wide turn on 1. Now shorten it up, tighten it up around 2, and head for 3. Come on. She was a champion at Augusta, Montana, and Belt, Montana. Look, look, look. 1825. 1825. Taylor Moinkins, the 2023 Montana Circuit champion that lives in Three Forks, Montana. Going to be the next lady to come down the alleyway. She's number 8 in the world right now. She won 10 grand in Sisters, Oregon. She won the championship. She was a champion at Elko, Nevada, where she won 7. Come on. Oh, hurry, hurry, hurry. She's been a college champion from 2021. 1833. 1833 for Taylor. All right, let's go back to the Lone Star State in the little town of China Springs, down around Waco, Texas. For a two-time NFR qualifier and a lady that ended up number 11 in the world last year. She won $209,000 for the year last year. This is Halen Live. All right, we're going to cost her 5. But come on, don't you leave her. You can help her make it up on the backside. Give it to her right now. $18.03 plus 5 for the Texas Aggie. I want to introduce you to the number 1 rookie barrel racer in the world right now. She lives in Heath, Texas. Her name's Morgan Bagnell. You know, you can win 1,000 world championships, but only 1 rookie of the year, and she's sitting in the number 1 spot. Oh, you better shorten it up, tighten it up, and hurry, hurry, hurry. Come on, come on, come on. Folks, help her make it count right now. $18.50. $18.50. Billy Schaff. Now here's a lady that's probably a hometown favorite because she lives pretty close. Just down the hill in Billings, Montana. So all you people from Billings, this is the one I want to hear you root for.
Well, that's a look in at the barrel racing in Red Lodge, Montana. Caitlin Scott leading the way right now with a 17.74, but you saw some greats go behind her. Anita Ellis, she had a little bit of tough luck, but she made a really great run. Morgan Bagnell, one of our great youngsters in the pro rodeo game. I loved the opportunity to pop around and kind of look at the day sheets and see some of the standout competitors and try to follow them as best we can over the 4th run. I hope that everyone watching at home is enjoying enjoying this too, because I feel like this show really gives us some insight into what the pro rodeo competitors are dealing with this time of year.
It does show a lot in pro rodeo, and I just want to tell you, I mentioned this at the top of the show because our producers behind the scenes, they gave us all the day sheets from the rodeos that we're going to be covering across the country, trying to figure out where some of the top names in the game are going to be, and we're going to try to get to that throughout this show. So it's exactly what has been done. And when you talk about it, we just left Red Lodge, Montana. In fact, they're just telling us we're going to go back to Red Lodge and update what just happened in the barrel racing, because as we were leaving there, Billy Schaaf in the barrel racing. She makes her home in Billings, Montana. I want you to watch this run. You just watched a bunch of barrel racers. That's the first one that I remember going to the left barrel first tonight in Red Lodge. She takes over the #1 spot.
Yeah, I'd love to see an aerial view of the arena, Ty, because several of those barrel racers, we saw them have a little bit of a tough entry into the first barrel. So I wonder if maybe the pattern is a little bit offset. Like you said, Billy Schaaf, she made a great run going to the left, 17:65 for her. So she takes the lead by nearly a 1/10 of a second. Just down the road in Red Lodge, Montana. Must be one of her favorite stops throughout the year. She sure looked comfortable there.
I was going to say, I can't blame her for that. She's got the lead right now in Red Lodge. So pretty good choice on her entry choices of rodeos. I hope it's a good choice for you to stay with us here on Cowboy Channel. We're going to continue Shoot Around on the other side of this break. We'll be right back. Well, it just seems like sometimes this is the way things work out here on Shoot Around as we cinch it a break. We told you about a new leader in Red Lodge. Another left-handed barrel first takes over the lead for Morgan Addison while we were away at commercial break. She now has the lead. Maybe that's the way you need to run barrels at Red Lodge, is to the left barrel first, because that's 2 in a row to take over the #1 spot. Now 17-54. The young lady from Texas, and Morgan Addison now a new leader.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm interested to see what that setup looks like. From our angle, it's kind of hard to tell how the alley lines up with the first and second barrels there, or the right and left barrels, because it seems like it might be an advantage to go left there. Of course, tough barrel racing competition no matter which way you go, right or left, but it is exciting to see and kind of interesting to see two left-handed barrel racers now, #1 and 2 in the barrel racing. We're breaking things down as best we can, but we've got a pal breaking things down from behind the scenes. Michael Snow joins us once again. Hard to believe it's already been an hour since we visited. Michael, what do you have on your mind?
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now, like I said earlier. And, you know, on WSR about a week ago, I brought up a couple guys who need a big Cowboy Christmas to get their season going right. One of those guys was Ty Harris. Now, if you look at the past for Ty Harris, Cowboy Christmas is kind of his thing. Of the top 5 overall earners in Cowboy Christmas of all time, Ty Harris has 2 of those top 5 earnings, $40,000 and $49,000. Here you can see his resume. He's done just about everything but get that world title, but you can see 2023, $40,000. 2024, $49,000. Right now, he is number 17, but once the money is added from his Cowboy Christmas already, he will jump comfortably inside the top 15 because he's doing what he does this time of year. In Ponoka, he went out and he won $10,000. In Airdrie, he won $2.6K. He's got $13,000 already during Cowboy Christmas. So guys, right now you can see him number 17 at $48,000. Getting Ty, he is comfortably inside the top 15 now once Ponoka and all these other rodeos get added. I know there's a long ways to go, but Ty Harris officially inside the top 15.
That's a great point. I love that. And you're exactly right. When that Canadian money gets added in there, we'll have to see how that all racks up together here in the next couple of weeks. Thank you, Michael Snow. We'll be back with you here in just a little while. We appreciate it. You keep shouting out some numbers like that, and maybe send us a chocolate chip cookie or two when you get a chance. We'd appreciate that, just if you get a chance.
I'll have plenty of chances for those chocolate chip cookies. I'll get them to you right away.
Okay, as you know, I'm way more interested in chocolate chip cookies than I am of how much money Ty Harris has won. But anyway, we'll be back with you here in just a little while. I love that he brings that up, Katie, because when you think about it, that's a great point of the amount of money that Ty Harris has already won. But think about this, too. we've got to watch what those other guys that are right around him in the bubble standings in the tie-down roping, maybe they've won $6,000 or $8,000 or $10,000, and they end up having a $15,000, $20,000 4th of July. Then we just have to see how the standings look here in a week or so.
Well, in the tie-down roping world standings, like we've seen with several of our standings, are pretty top-heavy right now. There's a lot of contestants at the very top that have a big jump. You know, you might go number 1, number 2, and then a big jump down from there. So that means there's room for a lot of movement if you're in that number 3 through number 20 spot. Even if you look even further down the standings, there are many contestants that are only $20,000 away from jumping into the top 20, top 15. So we're going to see a lot of moving and shaking as per usual over this Cowboy Christmas.
So we've been to Killdeer, North Dakota once already tonight. Remember, that's one of the rodeos that we shared with you about them switching the order of events. So the bareback riders, saddle bronc riders, and a few of the other events can get from Killdeer to Mandan. Well, this just happened moments ago. That other section of bareback riding that we promised you took place. Mason Stiller, he started his evening out in Red Lodge, of course, in Mandan, made the hustling drive over to Killdeer. Now the former national high school champion is doing very well in Killdeer. He just went to the lead at an 89.5. Night Gazer was his dance partner from the picket string, but here's another one that had a pretty good picket string horse.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that a matchup like that really isn't the headline of the night. You're looking at the headline right now, Waylon Bourgeois and the Great Nightcrawler, your reigning horse of the year from Pickett Pro Rodeo. What a great matchup that we saw there. 90 points for them. What an awesome way to really roll through the bareback riding. But man, we weren't done yet, Ty. Leighton Berry, who we saw compete a little bit earlier, first at the Mandan Rodeo. Now, as you said, they waved at the saddle bronc riders on the way by to head to Killdeer. And on all pink from J Bar J, he is now your leader at 91.
Folks, if that's not bringing you some updates that are timely updates, I don't know what it is.
We're scrambling here. Our paperwork is getting wider and wider as we go.
I want to know what our paperwork's going to look like by Saturday night. I mean, my goodness, we're going to have paperwork all over this studio. But, folks, that's a phenomenal bareback riding and just what you expect to see in the world of Cowboy Christmas when it comes to professional rodeo. That is good stuff, and that's the reason we invite you to join us over the next 3 nights here on Shoot Around, presented by CINCH on Cowboy Channel. And as I remind you, if you're like, man, why didn't I get to see all of that bareback riding in Killdeer? You can do exactly that on our Cowboy Plus app. It's all right there. Yeah, it's already happened tonight. You can go back on the app, rewind it back to the bareback riding, or catch it over coffee in the morning right there with your family. So that's the good reason to have it.
And don't forget, if you use code CIJ2026, you can get 20% off. That's our Christmas in July sale for you. 20% off your Cowboy Channel subscription, and you can get all of the rodeos that we have to offer. Just like Ty said, you can go back, watch them again in the morning, the next day, the next week. You can catch it all on our Cowboy Plus app. Stay with us here on Shoot Around. We'll be back with more rodeo action from the 4th of July run. Summer Rodeo is happening right here on Cowboy Channel. We're back with Shoot Around from our Cowboy Channel studios in Fort Worth, Texas. But earlier in the day, we headed to Livingston, Montana to catch up with a couple bareback riders that were sitting there preparing to compete tonight. R.C. Lanningham is number 7 in the world. Jacob Lee has now climbed up to number 2 in the PRCA's bareback riding world standings. And here's what they had to say a little bit earlier ahead of their ride in Livingston. Hey guys, you're in Livingston right now waiting to kick off your 4th run. What do you have tonight and how are those matchups going to work for you?
Yeah, I got a horse that I've never really seen before. He's from out east, but found some videos on Facebook of him and looks like it's a pretty good chance to get some money out of here.
We got kind of a middle of the road horse. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot, hope for the best.
And yes, this really does kick off your 4th run, but you guys have not exactly been sitting at home. How are we feeling before we kick off this very busy week, though?
Well, I've kind of been sitting at home. This is my first rodeo since Prineville, I guess, last weekend. So not too busy this week. I'll start out here tonight, go to Oakley tomorrow night, and then maybe St. Paul on the 4th and finish at Basin City on the 4th. And then I'll have a couple of days off before Calgary and we'll head up there.
I've kind of been all over. I was in Reno and then straight over to Panoka, and then now here in Livingston. We'll go Oakley and West Jordan tomorrow night, and then up to St. Paul, and then up to Basin, and then ease on over to Calgary after that.
For both of you guys, give us a little bit of insight on how you prepare for your 4th run. This is about to be the most grueling few days that you'll ever experience in rodeo for your season. How do you prepare for something like that?
For me, you know, it's changed so much over the last 15 years, but really over the last 5 years. There's so many more rodeos now. Like I remember 5, 6, 7 years ago being super excited for the 4th of July run. You know, we got rodeos for the next 10 days straight. We'd enter as many as we could and hit as many as we could. And now it's like it starts the 2nd week of June, and we've already been at it for the last 3 weeks, you know. So it's kind of, the 4th of July is now the last 3 months of the whole season. You're just busy the whole time. So for me, I haven't really stressed about entering as many rodeos as I can this week particularly, but spread them out throughout the next month and a half and hit as many of the good ones and get on as many of the best horses I can. So not like real stressed or worried about anything, just kind of going to get on the good ones and making sure to make it count when I'm there.
Jake, do you have the same mindset?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. You know, I rodeo. I go to a lot of rodeos, and I figure if I can make 100 rodeos a year, because that's the amount we're allowed to go to, then I'm going to try my best to hit it. And you know, they have a lot of rodeos during this time of year, but they also have a lot of rodeos before and after this. Like RC said, it's really the last the last few months of the season anymore. So really just kind of, you know, but these ones during this time, you can kind of stack them up on top of each other. So maybe other weekends, you're just going to 4 in a weekend, and now you can go to 6 or 7 or 8 in a weekend. And so I don't know if my preparation changes any, but mostly just it's a mindset thing. You know, you might get on a bad one here, have a bad ride. I got bucked off last night, and so I'm just going to try to forget about that and go on to this one and pretend like that never happened.
You two have been on a roll together as well. You even tied at a rodeo very recently. How much fun is that to be in a rig together and both be winning like that?
It's awesome, you know, and we got Clayton Bigelow also. He rodeos with us. Me and him have rodeoed together for the last 5 years or so, and last couple of 3 years, it's kind of been like one or the other has been out with an injury, and kind of almost seems like we haven't been rodeoing together, but really we have. And he's, again, me and Jake got up in Calgary the same set. Clayton got split. He's in the first set, so that kind of screwed up the whole 4th run. So Clayton had to do his own thing. Jake's going to Canada to make the Canadian finals, so he's kind of doing his thing. So we rodeo together, but we haven't really been together that much. But the weekends when we are in the same rig, it's been a lot of fun. You know, 3 guys all in the top 15, and when somebody's winning, everybody's winning, and it just feels good to be in a group like that.
Yeah, you guys all have that in common. You've been winning a lot lately. I feel like there's some personality similarities too. You guys are both pretty calm, cool. You're not joking around a whole lot compared to some of the other rigs that are headed down the rodeo trail. How important is that to have a personality match in the rig too?
You answer that.
We joke, we have fun. I feel like some people think we're just grumpy old guys, but we're not. We do things.
You guys are fun guys.
We all have
I know
a lot
that.
of fun.
Yeah, you gotta hang out with us. You gotta be there to know.
Okay, deal.
It's a need to know basis.
Yeah, I'm not going to hop in the rig right now, though, because you guys are going to go way too many miles for me over these next few days. But best of luck to the two of you. It's been really exciting to watch you both get on a roll and at the perfect time as well. Good luck tonight in Livingston. We're excited to watch.
Thanks, Katie.
Katie, I just want to mention that is something that you will not see very much over this Cowboy Christmas run, and that is a couple guys sitting still for a couple hours before the rodeo, because believe me, over this next 8 to 10 days, they're going to be traveling at pretty high speeds.
And I just want to say, too, I wasn't saying that those two guys weren't fun. They are plenty fun. We joked around about that after we were done our interview, but they are truly calm and cool guys, and they know how to handle the ups and downs that this sport has to offer, whether it be heavy injury. Jake Lazy talked about he got bucked off last night at the Ponoka Stampede. He's got to be able to set that aside, take his emotions out of it, because he's got a big job to do tonight.
And you mentioned that we catch them there at a moment where they're pretty calm, cool, and collected a couple hours before the rodeo. Well, believe me, they need that rest time and a little bit of just downtime to kind of just depress and hopefully keep their energy going where they can try to ride a bareback horse here a little later on in Livingston. One of them mentioned, I believe it was RC, talked about getting ready to go to the Calgary Stampede here in the next few days. Remember, the Calgary Stampede is going to get underway tomorrow. And the thing is, if you're in that first set in Calgary over the next 3 days, it kind of shortens your 4th of July Cowboy Christmas run because you have to go spend some time in Calgary because of the big money they pay.
Yeah, year over year, the situation changes. Every year, Calgary will be maybe a day later, a day later, a day later, and then it'll shuffle again to be in those first couple days of July. And it really does change things for the contestants that end up in the first set of the Calgary Stampede because, like you said, from tomorrow through the weekend, that is exactly where they have to be and have to stay, especially when you're hauling horses across the border as well. We know there's some situations going on there where several barrel racers aren't going to be able to get their horses up across the border. So it truly does change things, and it's something you have to think about when you go to enter Calgary. And just like any other rodeo, you might request Pool B or C, but you might get put up in Pool A, and that means from the past couple days until now, you've got to make the most of your 4th run.
That's the thing. Think about those Cowboys that are Cowboys and Cowgirls that are in Pool A. Tim O'Connell, we talked about this yesterday on Western Sports Roundup. That shortens their Cowboy Christmas run where they might only have 2 or 3, 4 days to get to as many rodeos as they can before going to Calgary. Whereas the contestants that are in those later pools at Calgary, they've got another 3 or 4, maybe 6 days where they can stretch that Cowboy Christmas run out and then go to Calgary. Speaking of going somewhere, we're getting ready to head to Livingston, Montana. There's some pretty good bareback riders stacked up there. Opening ceremonies are out of the way. Our very own colleague here at Cowboy Channel, Steve Kenyon, calls the action at Livingston. Let's get into the arena with him and see what the bareback riding looks like.
Crow Agency, Montana. Folks, this man has for 15 years been one of the great bareback riders in our Montana circuit. Right now, he is number 1 in the Montana Pro Rodeo circuit. Horse called Slippery Slope. National finalist Jason Frost was 84.5 on this horse. Oh, look at the clock, folks. It's an 8-second ride, and he lasted 7.3. That's a Montana Cowboy. Are there any Montana fans in the audience tonight? No score. Rules of the game in the bareback riding. It's an 8-second contest. Can't touch the horse with the free hand. Got to spur him for 8 seconds. Judges watch the way the horse drops, kicks, and bucks. The way the man spurs. The better the spur ride, the better the bucking horse, the bigger the score. Right now, in 84.5 sits number 1, Great Northern Metal Company. That's where we're going next. Thank you to United Country Yellowstone Real Estate. They are our sponsor of the night tonight, the Livingston Roundup Rodeo. Specializing in luxury homes, farms, ranches, equine properties. Cash Martin, Lufkin, Texas. Year ago, a college national finalist for McNeese State University. Top 4 at the Rookie Roundup. Old campaigner called Rocky Mountain Fire. Bailey Pro Rodeo Company. There are 4 different rodeo producers that brought bucking horses and bucking bulls to Livingston. Silver Creek Rodeo, our stock contractor of record. Bailey Pro Rodeo sent you that horse. I just told you what the judges are looking for. Let's see what kind of a score they put together. It's all about drop. It's all about kick. It's all about spur. It's 76 points for Cash Martin tonight, 76. Boys crowd, Kim, Colorado. Next to ride, Livingston Healthcare. That's the bucking chute, the Chapel's Auto Body bareback riding. Colorado Cowboy. Cat Eyes of the Bailey String. Let me ask you all a question. Did anybody see the judges throw a yellow flag on the ground on the first jump? That indicates that he missed the mark out. That indicates he didn't have his feet up above the shoulders first jump. Folks, he tried hard, but he's not going to get a score. Can he get a little welcome? By the way, don't you think we all ought to be excited? Look at this beautiful day we're looking at tonight in Livingston, Montana. Hope I didn't say that too early. Around here, the weather can change quick. Anybody ever go to Las Vegas in December in the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo? Here's Jacek Frost. He was there a year ago. He's from California. Reigning champion of the Pendleton Roundup Rodeo. Hannah Brown of the Bailey String. This horse has averaged 82 points or more in each of the last 3 years per ride. Been 84.5 at the Badlands Circuit Finals. Been 85 in Newtown, North Dakota. This man stands 5 feet 6 inches tall. Missed a lot of the early part of the year because of an injury. He's got a 6 foot 2 inch brother who's a bronc rider. He's got a daddy who's a steer wrestler. But he's the one that gets to say, I've been to the big show. The Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Want to welcome everybody watching on Cowboy Plus tonight, the Cowboy Channel app. You're sitting at home thinking, I need to go someplace for the 4th of July. Come to Livingston, Montana. Go visit Yellowstone Park. Spend a day touring downtown. Come see the sights. We've been at this for 102 years at the Livingston Roundup. There's something he's wanting that horse to do. Horse might be leading on him a little bit. Now, if you're watching the big screen, watch him lay back. When he lays back and when he puts his feet ahead, so that both of them with the spurs are up over the shoulders, that's the problem. Where he's at right now, that horse won't let him get his left leg forward. And it's hard to mark a horse out when that happens. This man knows what it's like to go to the big show, but he's got some ground to make up. This would be a good time to start. All right, let me do a little demographic survey tonight while we're waiting. How many of you came to the rodeo last night? Let me hear from you. How many of you are at your first rodeo ever? Make a little noise. Welcome to Livingston, Montana. How many of you come to the Livingston Roundup every year and wouldn't miss it for the world? How many of you just want to drink another beer and not be asked a bunch of dumb questions? Well, that was a pretty decisive yes, wasn't it? Our thanks to the Spur Line, to Livingston Healthcare, Great Northern Medical Company, Levitt Insurance Group. Coming to the rodeo tomorrow night, I want you to wear pink. It's tough enough to wear pink night tomorrow night. We're going to have a big auction. Raise a bunch of money for cancer fighters. Jason Frost, make it worth it. It took a while to get out, but that horse bucked, and did you see him spur? I don't know if there's anybody from California in the audience, but you ought to give that kid a round of applause. 82.5. That'll put him second. Jason, it's good to see you back, Cowboy. All right, 82.5. That's the best mark of the night. 87's winning the rodeo. Let's go to the Mountain Sky Guest Ranch. Dallas Hay, who is from Australia, about to ride. Number 12 in the Badlands Circuit, North and South Dakota. Little Bug of the Bailey String. Pickup men are going to move in. That's Andy Bolich in the straw next to him. Folks are going to set him on the ground. Everybody say Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. 1, 2, 3. $78 points for the Australian. 78. How many of you live in Montana? Let me hear from you. Anybody here from outside of Montana, like, for example, Colorado? Let me hear from you. Here's Logan Patterson from Kim, Colorado. Second bareback rider of the night from that little town. He's 32 years old. Been an average winner at the Mountain State Circuit Finals. I'm going to talk a lot about the circuit system in pro rodeo tonight. We divided the country up into regions. We call them circuits. Montana's a circuit all by itself. The Mountain States, Colorado, and Wyoming. This horse, Redface. Badlands Circuit Finals selected from the Bailey Company. Been 86 in Valley City, North Dakota. Come on and ride! That's a second-generation bucking horse rider. His dad rode bareback horses, rode bulls, team rope too. He's right in front of you, folks. If you want to give him a nice welcome, go for it. So now the judges mark the horse. Each one of them's got 25 points to give the horse, 25 to give the ride. 73 points for Logan Patterson. 73. Mason Yancey. About to ride. He's from Fruitland, Idaho. Been a Wilderness Circuit Finals qualifier twice. Top 4 right now in the Wilderness Circuit. That's Utah, Nevada, Southern Idaho. One of the top 10 rookies in pro rodeo. Viewmaster from the Bailey Company. Badlands Circuit Finals bucking horse. Livingston Healthcare bucking chute. Pickup men getting fresh mounts. You can always spot the pickup men when they roll into a rodeo. They got the trailer with about 12 horses in it. And they're the most well-broke horses in the place. So now it's time for Mason. Intercollegiate finalist out of Idaho. Keep spurring. He's there at the horn. The former champion bucking horse rider, Andy Bolich, is going to ride up next to him and set him down. What'd you think of that boy from Idaho tonight? Judges liked it. 82 points. Put him third. There are Cowboys in every state in the country, folks. Illinois sends us the next man. GNMC bucking chute, Stetson Bierman. Hidalgo, Illinois. That's a Great Lakes Circuit finalist. That paint horse's name is Color Code. That's a Prairie Circuit Finals and a Great Lakes Circuit Finals selected bucking horse. Comes from the Silver Creek Rodeo Company. Josh and Amanda Walling. They are the stock contractor of record tonight. Let's hear what the judges thought. The judges say 80 points for Stetson Bierman. 80. That's fifth. We've rearranged most of the top five, but nobody's touched number one in that 87. Jacob Rain from Mount Pleasant, Tennessee. Hypnotic, Silver Creek Rodeo. Old Saloon bucking chute. Here's one of the top 50 in the world. That man is a Southeastern Circuit Finals qualifier. That man is top 4 in the Southeast every year. They've been a lot of points and a lot of rodeos on that bucking horse. Tonight we did it again. Brand new number 2, 85 points. Nice ride, Jacob. Nice ride. We're creeping up on 87, boys. That's the number to beat. Whistler Towing, they're going to be a big part of Tough Enough to Wear Pink night tomorrow night. Tristan Hansen. Hey, you know what we haven't had a chance to do much of tonight? Root for a guy from Montana. Here's the Montana Circuit Champion out of Dillon, Montana. 3-time Circuit Champion, 2-time average winner. 24th in the PRCA's world standings. Plastic Fantastic. That's the name of the horse. This is a 10-year-old gelding that started its rodeo career as a barrel racing horse. Well, he bucked off all the barrel racers, found his way into the Silver Creek Rodeo Company string. Little horse, lots of heart. Wise man once said, it ain't the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Well, this one might be built like a Jack Russell. But he's going to try you like a grizzly. Having the same problem Jasek had. Now he's ready. Mark him out, go to spurring. Folks, that man has been the pride and joy of Montana, the bareback riding event, for the better part of the last decade. He comes from Dillon. How about a little home state hospitality in Livingston tonight as they set him down? Those hands are wedged into those bareback riggings pretty tight. He's got it loose. Mississippi Cowboy is going to set down the Montana bareback rider. 79 points. That'll put him 7th. 79. About to meet a Wrangler National Finals Rodeo qualifier from Caldwell, Idaho. Mountain Sky Guest Ranch Bucking Chute. Folks, the bareback riding presented by Chappell's Auto Experience, your auto body experience. On United Country Yellowstone Real Estate Night at the Livingston Roundup. Jacob Lees making a name for himself, 30 years old and number 2 in the world standings. That's a horse called Whiskey talking to the Silver Creek. That man's a 2-time qualifier to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Been a California Circuit champion. Take a look at the replay. That's the way you spur a bucking horse. 84 and a half. Nice ride, Jacob. I want you to meet a 5-time qualifier to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Graduated from high school in Pendleton, Oregon. Lives in Hack Creek, California. R.C. Landingham's been a college champion. He's been a NFR Open champion. Been to the big show in Las Vegas in the Wrangler NFR. Got a special opportunity. Won himself $1 million riding bareback horses a couple of years ago. Tonight, let's see what we can get done on this horse called Little Big Man. Prairie Circuit finalist in the bareback riding in the bronc riding boat. Folks, he might be the tallest bareback rider you're going to watch all weekend. But he is really good at extending those big, long legs, showing off for the judges. Pickup men are going to ride up next to him. He's going to grab hold of Andy Bolich. The judges can hear you. If you liked him, tell him about it. $84 points for RC. 84. Boy, what a night.
As you remember just earlier, we showed that interview where Katie Lucas caught up with these boys as they were getting ready to compete in Livingston, Montana. One of them, Jacob Lees, number 2 in the world standings. And I'm going to be honest, Katie Lucas, this 84.5 and 84 that RC did right after it, I don't know if that's going to stay in the money or not. They're 3rd and 4th right now in Livingston for night number 1. But remember, they got a few performances left to go, and those middle 80-point scores may not stay in the money there.
Yeah, I completely agree, Ty. This is the 4th of July. I think it's going to take 86, 87 plus to stay at least in there for big checks at any of these rodeos that we're going to show you here on Shoot Around. But even if you can place away here and there, maybe pick up an 8th place check from time to time, that all adds up. And when we look at the world standings, could be all the difference. Jacob Lee is chasing Bradley Miller for that number 1 spot right now. RC pretty happily moved into the number 7 spot with $88,000 won, but look at how close he and Luke Thrash are right now. So a few 8th place, 7th place paychecks here and there could be all the difference.
It certainly could. Well, we've shared with you some news about Haley Kinzel today. She's been a pretty busy cowgirl here over this day, and she's already done something else tonight.
And she's got a herd of horses. Remember, for so many years, she kind of just had Sister ready to go to the rodeos, but luckily Sister has a little bit of relief because Haley's got a herd of horses headed down the rodeo trail. We told you about Sister leading the way and potentially setting the new arena record in Mandan. Then she rode a full sister to sister named Livy, 1698 to place at Killdeer. Then that run you just saw was at the Sitting Bull Stampede in Mobridge, South Dakota. She's 2nd with that 17 and 21.
Another barrel racer to tell you about that just took place at Killdeer, North Dakota, is the winningest cowgirl of all time in WPRA's history. That is Lisa Lockhart. You know her as the 20-time qualifier to the National Finals Rodeo, 16 and 58. That just took place moments ago in Killdeer. Congratulations to Lisa going to the #1 spot. Congratulations to Haley. Another rodeo that she's now second at. We're going to have to watch her close as this Cowboy Christmas run finishes up here next week and see how much money Haley Kinzel's going to stack up.
Yeah, so many of the contestants are going to stack up tens of thousands of dollars across Cowboy Christmas, and we are just getting started. It is night #1 of Shoot Around as we try to take you through the chaos that is Cowboy Christmas, and we're going to carry on with more chaos on the other side of this break. We'll be right back with Shoot Around.
An MRCA rodeo. They had ropings, concerts, and a Wild West Power Wheels race, which was pretty cool. And of course, they had the ACWRA sanctioned chuck wagon races. What a week. We had country music stars like Zach Top, Diamond Rio, Wyatt Flores, and Casey Donahue all on the big stage. It was awesome. The Stampede marks the 5th race on a 9-race circuit for the ACWRA, so let's get into it. Starting off with the big horse rubber tire division, Freight Train got it done on Sunday to not only win a buckle, but they took a narrow lead in the point standings. Bad Luck and Trouble now trails Freight Train by 1 point. These two teams are dominating the top of the leaderboard. In the 46-inch mules, the Hickory Plains Outlaws are able to get a buckle on the weekend, but it's Whiskey Ridge who stays in first place on top of the leaderboard. 4 races left in the season, anything can happen. In the 46-inch pony division, it's Going Nuts, who's driven by Ray Nutt, and they went nuts and got first place on the weekend, but it's Dustin Pruitt and that Ain't Scared team who keeps the first place spot in the standings with 52 points. Derek Hands moves down to 3rd place after a no-show, which opens the door to some of these teams who are quickly making up ground on the leaderboard. In the 52-inch mule division, it's the Buckeye Bandits who get their 2nd buckle of the season, and the Mount Vernon Mulemen pull out a 2nd place finish. But consistency has been the key in this division. Trump Train #1 leads the pack with 64 points, and Hickory Plains Outlaws and Trump Train #2, they're now tied with 51 points. But watch out for those Mount Vernon Mulemen. They've missed 2 races, but they finished first, and 2nd when they competed. Let's head on down to the 52-inch ponies. The Desperados make their 52-inch pony debut. Maddie Johnston was accompanied in the wagon by her mother, Amanda, and they had the fastest time on the weekend. However, in our standings, the 52-inch pony division will remain the same. Freight Train maintains a first-place lead, holding it down with 63 points. Now let's take you down to the buckboard. We saw some really good competition at the Bakerspain Stampede. It was Cameron Martin driving Bad Company who won their 2nd buckle of the season, and they've now climbed up to 4th place in the standings. However, it's Janice Smith with Full Throttle Loca who hasn't finished below 3rd place all season, and she sits on top with 70 points. Now for the big mules up the hill. It's Desperados #2 who are driven by Jason Reynolds, who are 3-time national champions in the big mules. They missed the first race of the season, but they have placed first in the last 4 races, and they finally have topped the leaderboard. But they can't get too comfortable. Bad Bougie and Wide Open are right behind them. That's a 1-point differential. Diamond S Express falls from 1st to 3rd with 58 points, and this division is highly competitive. Last but certainly not least, it's these 1,000-pound wooden wagons in the Classic division. From Bryant, Indiana, it's B&B Farms, driven by Gerald Burkhalter, and you've seen her on the Great Wagon Race. Andrea Fralix cooks for him in the wagon, while she keeps her husband Tyler in line at the outriding position. They take home the buckle, but it's BS Racing who maintains first place after a 3rd place finish at the Stampede. The next stop on our schedule is Perry, Arkansas, for the inaugural event, the Presley Farms Chuck Wagon Races. Being that this is a home event for a lot of our racers, we are expecting another big turnout. So until then, happy 250th birthday, America, and we'll see you out on the track.
If you enjoyed Season 1 of Building Spain, stay tuned for Season 2. The Bakerspain Stampede officially marked the end of production on Season 2, which will be premiering later on this fall.
Big thank you to Mr. Selby for that report. But now we go from the chuck wagon races to the team roping pen. Let's look at our rodeo replay. We're going back to Oakley, Utah, the Oakley Independence Day Rodeo. We start off in the team roping with Cash Duty, who's top 40 in the world. Trent Vaught, number 8 in the world right now. Remember, Trent won both Fort Worth and the brand new event in Driggs, Idaho. They had some tough luck tonight. That's how it goes sometimes over the 4th of July. But Luke Brown, number 23 in the world, Hunter Cook at number 29 in the world. They're having some success in Oakley. They were 5-1. That is sitting them in there nicely at 4th place right now. Then we're talking Cody Snow and Lane Mitchell, both of them top 35 in the world right now, but really wanting to get a move on, and they can do exactly that over this weekend. They were 5 flat in Oakley, now sitting 3rd place overall. We will see how that lands them by the end of the weekend. A few more performances to go for the Oakley Independence Day Rodeo. Pretty fitting rodeo. They call it that every single year, but man, that is your rodeo replay for you right now as I ease my way back over to my colleague, Ty McClary. Ty, got a lot going on across the rodeo world right now. Our paperwork is starting to become a mess. Actually, I think you took a moment to shuffle things around and fix it up a little bit, but I'll get reseated here. We're ready for more.
Well, I tried to kind of make mine a little cleaner here for a minute. But I don't know if it worked or not, because then as you were going through all the team roping, I was trying to update and get my team rope, and then it kind of scattered again somewhere. So I'm just right back to scattered where I was before you started the team roping rodeo replay update.
Well, I am literally scattered here. I think my paperwork is just growing as we speak, as we work our way through this evening, but for good reason. Look at all the rodeos we have going on right now. Livingston, Montana, we've shown you a lot of the action there. St. Paul, Oregon has now started to kick off some of our more West Coast rodeos are happening now. Oakley, Utah, Cody, Wyoming. That is a huge stop for rodeo contestants over the 4th of July.
When you think about money payout over the 4th of July, St. Paul and Cody, Wyoming are right up there at the top. In fact, St. Paul, one of the highest paying rodeos as far as for the contestants and what they can win. That is why some of these contestants you might see, and this is another thing that Tim O'Connell shared with us yesterday on Western Sports Roundup, that it's tough for rodeo committees and it's tough for rodeo fans. They see one of their favorite contestants on the day sheet at such and such rodeo, but because that contestant thinks they have a better chance at such and such rodeo, let's just say St. Paul, because of the payout, and maybe they were good on their first calf there, so they need to turn out at another one and go rope their second calf at St. Paul, or a bareback rider or a saddle bronc rider thinks they have a better chance to win more money at St. Paul. That's the reason you see some of the turnouts that we talk about throughout the season here. That's just part of the game in pro rodeo. Yes, it's tough for committees. Yes, it's tough for fans, but contestants are trying to make a living this way.
Well, let's carry on with that game right now. We're getting closer and closer to ending shoot around for our night number 1 of rodeo action, but let's take a look in right now at the Black Hills Roundup in Belfouche, South Dakota.
Yeah, current leader right there, and that is Amy Orr. Look at that in the breakaway roping for the ladies. 2.1 for her. Watch another shot of this right straight on. By that loop kind of slung around the front of that calf's nose, but who cares? Now watch it in this replay. Yeah, it kind of snuck around there, but who cares? Now she is in the lead at Belfouche, South Dakota, so that looks good at the Black Hills Roundup. They are just getting underway as well for a week's long worth of competition over this 4th of July as well.
Yeah, and you can catch all of this rodeo action with your Cowboy Plus app. Use code CIJ2026 to get 20% off of Cowboy Plus right now. If you don't want to bounce around with us on Shoot Around, get your Cowboy Plus app and you can focus on whatever rodeo you would like to and truly tailor your rodeo experience. Stay with us. The summer run continues next with Shoot Around.
Shoot Around presented by CINCH continues here on Cowboy Channel. There's a look at just a handful of the rodeos that we're featuring for you tonight. St. Paul, Oregon is underway now. We'll try to get out there on the West Coast and try to get into Cody, Wyoming a little bit here as well coming up. Think about this, rodeo fans, Cowboy Channel fans. It's kind of getting late here in the central part of the country and over on the East Coast, and you're thinking, man, it's about bedtime for me. How about these rodeo contestants? They're competing somewhere, probably getting ready to compete, load their horse in the trailer, and an all-night drive to somewhere else for a slack in the morning. That's just what happens during Cowboy Christmas here over a couple weeks. Yes, they have lots of help to get through these couple of weeks. Michael Snow's been with us all night long. Let's get back to him for an update from Michael. What you got on your mind?
Well, that's just what happens sometimes with live
us,
television.
yes,
Michael
yes.
Snow will try and get your audio back, but as we're shooting around here, you know, there's a lot of variables that we're dealing with. As you can tell, lots of rodeos going on. There's a lot happening too, including a very impressive roster of tie-down roping contestants at the Oakley Independence Day Rodeo. We just talked about the team roping, but wait until you see the draw in the tie-down.
Of the Greeley Stampede, rolled him over to today, Jake Pratt. Just won the Snake River Stampede in Nampa, Idaho, and unfortunately his loop is not going to connect.
I'm still looking for Fan of the Night. Who's still wanting to win Fan of the Night tonight? This is good.
Zach Youngblood from Iowa, Louisiana is ready to let it fly. The three-time national finalist, one of the top-ranked Cowboys in the world, is ready to make something happen.
Good job.
Let's see if Zach's going to have one of his best days. Gets to him quick. How fast can he be? Oh, that's what I'm talking about. The calf must remain tied for 6 seconds once he puts slack in the rope. And Zach Youngblood, you are number 3 overall, 7.8 seconds. The tie-down roping is getting speedy as we want to welcome the ladies from the Oakley Civic Club. They're going to be passing the boots for our Tough Enough to Wear Pink Night, raising money for local cancer foundations and those battling that horrible disease. They're going to be passing those boots. If you feel like you were led to put something in the boot, put it in the boot. The pink boots will be passed here in just a moment.
Wow.
Tyler Buck Calhoun, the Resist All Rookie of the Year. Has had so many fast runs. He hails from Richards, Texas. Go to work. Calf standing when he gets there. That's good. Oh, Calf is doing a little cow Roddy. 10.4.
It's Tyler, not Taylor, right?
Tyler, yep.
Taylor's getting married this, like, right? Tonight or tomorrow night? Where's all the Taylor Swift fans? Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Boy, if that doesn't get you fired up.
Right. There we go, Riley.
For the reigning and defending champion of the world. In the last 3 seasons, none have been better than Riley Webb from Denton, Texas. Oh, and by the way, he is the #1 ranked tie-down roper in the world right now, en route to his 4th gold buckle. Watch Riley Webb go to work. Watch Riley Webb right here. Ladies and gentlemen, with a 7-second flat run, that is a brand new arena record. In 91 years, there's never been a calf tied as fast as what that man just did. Tell him something more.
I love it. Wow.
Wow, oh wow, oh wow is right.
Was it his mad skills or was it the Taylor Swift song?
Oh,
Taylor
man.
Swift.
No.
Oh my.
No. There's people booing.
I get the booing part.
Stop.
Stop.
Oh, man. I just want to shake it off. Shake,
Oh, my
shake,
goodness.
shake it off.
Shake it up.
All right, let's see if it works. Tyler Boxleitner.
Let's go, Tyler.
I am not dancing to this song.
Don't act like you don't know this, because you know this. Uh-oh.
Hey. Hey. Oh! Swifties unite!
Swifty, shoot. No.
Oh, he broke the barrier. That was all Taylor's fault.
Dang it. Taylor fell apart.
19.3.
So we got my daughter a truck the other day.
Yeah.
And she driving it around, and she called me. She's like, Dad, I don't know what's wrong with my truck. It's making a terrible noise. I was like, yeah, take out the Taylor Swift CD. See what it sounds like now. So, sorry, give y'all a hard time.
Ay.
The Swifties are dedicated.
Hey,
okay?
listen, I used to, when I was in my younger days, I used to be a Swiftie, but now I'm an Ella fella.
Oh, Ella fella. Where's all the Ella fellas?
I am an Ella fella.
Woo! She's on fire.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Ella fellas, let's go to Bo Cooper. Settler, Alberta, Canada, the Resistol Rookie of the Year in 2021, qualified to the National Finals in 2023. Canadian Finals Rodeo, Cowboy, let's do it again.
Oh.
How about an 8.1 second run, top 6 run for the Canadian Cowboy? Nice work, Bobo. From one bow to another.
The Ella song worked. That was good.
All right, Bo Pickett, Caldwell, Idaho Cowboy. Carries on the legacy of the great D. Pickett, the Hall of Famer. Canadian finalist, Columbia River Circuit finalist, past champion. It was almost like he was waiting for the song to change. Hey, that was athletic.
And it hurt so bad.
And that did hurt so bad. And that calf is having his way. That calf's not choosing Texas. That calf's choosing violence. Yeah.
Oh, no. All right.
He survived the storm, but fans, because of our friends at Spoonful of Comfort, Bo Pickett, take comfort because John Gwatney, the many-time national finals, national steer roping finals, national breakaway finals, shoe boss, he's going to give you $200 cash. He's not going to get any big money from the big-time payout of this event, but $200 cash to Bo Pickett. Thank you to Spoonful of Comfort. Take comfort. Thank you to Scott Gustafson and Stephen Weimer. You can go to spoonfulofcomfort.com to find out more about their great business and their gourmet gift baskets. And Bo, better luck at the next one, my friend. Better luck.
Dang it.
His name is Shad Money Mayfield. If you are a fan of pro rodeo, then you are a fan of this two-time world champion. He just came back last week from 2 hip surgeries. Finished second at his first rodeo back at the Reno Rodeo, and Shad Mayfield is on pace to put him back into contention for a world title. 7-time qualifier to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. 7 NFR round wins, the Calgary Stampede, Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, Caldwell Night Rodeo. He has done it and won it all. Oh, watch this. Watch this, Oakley. Oh. Woulda, coulda, shoulda been a 7.2. But he broke the barrier. 10 seconds and penalties. But fans, what I'm going to tell you about Shad Money Mayfield is the amount of work that he put into making his comeback. The trials, the defeats, it is going to lead him to victory. Fans, he could have been anywhere in the pro rodeo world on this day, but he chose to be in Oakley Rodeo. Yes. Why don't you choose to make some noise for that world champion man and world champion Cowboy?
Holy cow, we told you the tie-down roping at Oakley, Utah might be pretty explosive fireworks, and it was exactly that. The number one man in the world standings, the reigning and three-time world champion Riley Webb, sets a new arena record at Oakley, Utah. You heard in-house announcer Anthony Lucia building it up and talking all about it. Watch this run right here from 7 flat just moments ago. You watched it. You witnessed it right here on Shoot Around. You get to go back and watch it as many times as you want on Cowboy Plus app. That's a phenomenal run.
But Ty, that's not the only story that we're tracking over Cowboy Christmas. Yes, Riley Webb just continues to get better and better. There is no sign of him stopping in sight, and he just continues to break arena records. We saw him do it at Rodeo Houston. We've seen it now once again for the Oakley Independence Day. He's that number one man in the world, is building more and more of a lead, but how cool is it to see Shad Mayfield go 7-2? Yes, he broke the barrier. Yes, he bobbled his tie. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But it is so impressive to watch Shad come back the way that he has, be able to knock the rust off so quickly and hop back into kind of his old form. It's really exciting to see, and I expect him only to build from there. And we're going to continue to build this show on the fly on the other side of this break. Shoot Around is coming up after this.
Around presented by CINCH here in our Cowboy Channel studios, and rodeo contestants, they're bouncing around all over the country. We're bouncing around our studios here, kind of showing you what all takes place to bring these shows to you each and every day, each and every week here on Cowboy Channel. Just moments ago in Livingston, Riley Westhaver, the Canadian, 4.2. I probably should have let Katie talk about that. She always brags on her Canadian. That is actually tied for third with that 4.2 for the big man from High River, Alberta, Canada. But he wasn't the only guy to mention about. How about I love Justin McKee, calls him the Big Biscuit. Will Loomis from Byhalia, Mississippi. He's been the reserve champ of the world 3 different times in his career. He is 4.1. That is second place money right now at Livingston. And the man that is number one, how good has Tristan Martin been over the last couple of weeks? You just watched him be the co-champion at the Reno Rodeo this past weekend with Dalton Massey. Now the Cajun Cowboy is 3.8 to the lead in Livingston. Sure, there's lots more rodeo action to go, but that 3.8 looks really good for those Bulldoggers in Livingston, Montana. I'm going to send it over right here across the studio from me, just a few steps away, to Katie Lucas.
Well, and Ty, speaking of steer wrestling, myself and our colleague Michael Snow were just having a laugh about a steer wrestling champion north of the border, Scott Gunther, who, I mean, we'll joke about it, begrudgingly won another title. Scott Gunther has been trying to retire Michael Snow for years now, but man, he just keeps on winning.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's got nobody to blame but himself. He keeps showing up to rodeos and in big rodeos that he can win. You know, you look at Ponoka, the first rodeo to really end of Cowboy Christmas, and there's a big payout up top, about $25,000 if you have a big rodeo. Scott had just that. He came in with the $22,000 you can see right there. He walked away with about $23,000 from that. So you add it up, he's at about $45,000, $46,000. And, you know, there's a lot going on with Scott right now. There could be a lot going on with Scott in December, too, because he's going to go to Calgary. He's probably going to win a pretty good amount of money there as well. And then all of a sudden you're saying, well, if I'm 1 or 2 rodeos away from an NFR, do I make a little bit of a run here at the end of the season? And Katie, you've got a pretty good relationship with Scott. And, you know, we joke about it every single year, but it's the same thing every single time is he just shows up to these big rodeos and he goes out and he wins them. So we talk about all these athletes going all over the place. Scott's not one of those guys, but he's competing like his old self. And Ty, he averages about 5 seconds per run right now. You talked about those cookies I was eating earlier. I think that's about your average time for a chocolate chip cookie too, isn't it?
I would think so. I appreciate that, Michael Snow. I'm just glad you got that chocolate chip cookie off your microphone so we could hear you from earlier. But hey, thanks for all your updates. It's been fun. Can you do me a favor? Can you join us again tomorrow night? We'd love to have you back.
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I got all the numbers. There's plenty to talk about, so I will be here.
All right. Sounds good. We'll hear from Michael Snow more tomorrow night and the next night. We've got 3 days of action from Shoot Around coming your way here on Cowboy Channel. So lots going on, lots to finish up here. We're just a few minutes away from the end of our show. We'll be back with more Shoot Around right after this break. Joe, I told you there might be a 7-time world champion in the bull riding at Red Lodge. Well, there he is, Sage Kimzey. Now, I will say it didn't go his way, but that bull stumbled. He was hard to ride. He and his wife, Alexis Bloomer, they decided to take off on this Cowboy Christmas run and let their kids experience what Cowboy Christmas is all about. Sage did it for so long, and of course now his kids are getting to experience a little bit. Probably not going to go to all the rodeos, I doubt, but for the 7-time world champion, it is good to see him back in the pro rodeo arena. We just need him to draw a little better bull at the next rodeo that he's at.
It's so exciting to see with Sage, too. Like you said, he's a 7-time world champion. In the PBR, he has truly been making waves. He was the #1 overall draft pick in 2023, made the world finals several times, but Dad, that is the title that he loves the most. I love seeing him take his kids out on the road. But we're getting close to the end of the show right now, and we want to recap our 5 top moments of the night, starting with some bull riding in Mandan with TJ Gray.
TJ Gray, of course, you watched him win the National Finals Rodeo average title in Las Vegas this past year. Remember, he rides with his hand backwards most of the time. This was in Mandan, North Dakota, where he was 88 points to the lead. That is good kind of bull riding. That's our number 5 spot on today's edition of Shoot Around. We're going to have these each and every night, but I thought that was a pretty good way to kick off our top 5 with an 88-point ride for TJ Gray.
For moment number 4, Cade Bruno is winning ×2. He leads both Killdeer and Mandan. We saw him. He's had a very busy evening tonight. He was a part of that crossover where the bareback riders waved to the saddle bronc riders between our Dakota rodeos. In Killdeer, he was 89 points on a blessed day. What a great ride for him, but he wasn't done yet.
No, not at all. Of course, 2 of those 89-point rides. That's what you dream of over Cowboy Christmas. Get you some big money at a couple different rodeos. That is exactly what Cade Bruno is doing right now. Will it hold out? We have no idea. A couple of performances left to go, obviously, at all of these rodeos. But we're going to take you to our number 3 top run of the day. We shared this with you earlier in the show. It was slack competition earlier this morning with Haley Kinsel, the 4-time world champion, and that great mare, Sister, the one and only mare, Sister, with a new arena record, as we're being told, there in Mandan, North Dakota. That is 1690. And of course, that's not all she did today. We just updated her at a couple different rodeos. She is going to hopefully stack up some big money here over the 4th.
Yeah, it's been a very busy day for Haley Kinsel and her troop of great horses that she's headed out on the 4th of July with. Number 2, Leighton Berry. We go back to Killdeer for this moment right here. 91 points on the great horse, all pink, from the J-Bar-J firm. The bareback riding and saddle bronc riding in Killdeer was impressive.
Yeah, it definitely was. But I'll tell you what was more impressive, and we just showed this to you just moments ago from Oakley, Utah. Folks, this might be a pretty good reason to be the number 1 run of the day on our first night of Shoot Around, as we're going to take you to Oakley here in just a moment. And what you saw the world champion do, the reigning world champion and the 3-time world champion Riley Webb, 7 seconds flat. And you heard the in-house announcer talk about it, and Anthony Lucia, a new arena record there in Oakley. How about this? That is just flawless. Yes, Chad Mayfield was right there behind him with a broken barrier and a 7.2, which turned into a 17.2. But how about this for Riley Webb? Setting an arena record. He's pretty used to doing stuff like that.
Yeah, Anthony Lucia said in the 91-year history of this great rodeo in Oakley, no one has tied a calf faster than that. Congratulations, Riley Webb already off to a strong start for the #1 man in the world.
I will promise you, when you join us tomorrow night and the next night on Shoot Around, big rodeos at St. Paul, Oregon, Cody, Wyoming. We didn't get a chance to show you much from there because they kind of start a little later in our program, but we'll get to those hopefully tomorrow night. So please join us for day number 2 tomorrow for Shoot Around.
For Ty McClary, I'm Katie Lucas. We will see you tomorrow as we work our way through the best time of year in the world of rodeo. Cowboy Christmas is upon us, and it's right here on Shoot Around.
Cowboy Channel thanks you for watching this presentation of the Professional Rodeo